welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the show so far, and we're back talking about both sides of 50. We're going to start with Isaac Bird, and I kind of tempted you a little bit with Isaac told us what high school he went to, but I didn't touch the college. Why would you think that would be? Why would you think I?
Because I'm a Kansas Jayhawk, and I know this is Missouri Tiger. You know, I know this is all about Missouri Tigers. That's great, but you know, coming out of high school, I wanted to be, you know, Missouri of course recruited me, and but they had a really strong program at that time, and they still do. But I chose Kansas because I just wanted to go somewhere and build something, be a part of something that was building, and that's one of the reasons why I chose the Jayhawks of Kansas.
Okay.
And I'm a Jayhawk to the heart.
Okay. But you like Mizzou too, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Well, also I'd like to introduce my other guest, Carnell Young. Carnell.
Hey Norm, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
What do you think about that? You know, Kansas, Missouri. I mean,
well, you know, before Kansas, he went to Parkway. That's my first problem with Mr. Bird here. Because I went to Kirkwood, and we were rival football teams against each other, so we played against each other in high school. So I have a beef before Kansas.
Oh, well, sounds interesting. Well, before we get in too much trouble here, let's kind of move on. From there, let's go back to Isaac here. From there, you went into, where did you play? You went professional?
Yes. After playing both football and baseball at Kansas, I played both sports, and I was actually drafted by our hometown team, the St. Louis Cardinals, in baseball my junior year, and I went into their minor league system and played for a year and came back to finish my education at Kansas and continue playing football. Then I was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs my senior year, so I had to make a decision, did I want to play football or baseball. You know, I wasn't Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders. I couldn't do both. They wouldn't allow me to do both. And at that time, I chose football, and in training camp, I was traded to the Tennessee Titans, and I spent 3 years with the Titans, and I spent, after that I went to the Carolina Panthers, spent 3 years with the Carolina Panthers, and I was on the starting receiver on the Super Bowl team with the Titans, where we played our beloved Rams, and lost. I hate to say that, but we did, by a yard. That was one of the best Super Bowls ever played, you know, Dyson stretching the ball out on the goal line. So, but I had a wonderful career, 6 years in the NFL, and there's a lot of, you know, the experience and the friends that I garnered. I mean, just, you know, memories that can never be erased and taken away from me. So I've been very fortunate and very lucky.
Great. Sounds like you had an interesting career, and you're a lot more upbeat than a lot of players that stay for 15 or 20 years. You know, football does take it out of you.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Carnell, let's talk about what do you do for a living when you're not doing both sides of the 50?
Before we get into that,
Okay.
back to the beef we have with him.
Uh-huh.
See how it keeps going on and on? Nah, he's a Tennessee Titan, played against our beloved Rams in the Super Bowl. It's just, anyway. Well, when I'm not doing both sides.
Well, we got this coach, though. See, we're trying to bring him over. Now we have this coach.
Right. That's about the only good thing that's happening with his transition through the sports. Is Jeff
Bringing the coach.
Right, bringing the coach. Well, when I'm not doing both sides of the 50, I'm an electrician by trade. Okay, and I'm also a football coach. I'm president of an organization, the Spanish Lake Youth Organization, where I have children ages 5 through 14 that I coach.
Okay, great. That's very good. Okay, let's talk about both sides of the 50. Who wants to start? And I guess this, it's about a story. And how did this get put together? And either one of you two can start.
Well, it actually was put together. The initial idea came from Carnell. We met a while back, and I spoke at his banquet, and I spoke to all the athletes about succeeding in life and things at his banquet. And then shortly thereafter, he gave me a call and said, you know what, your story and my story, you know, although they're similar when it comes to the path that we had going through high school, the path then separates, right around, when we, was getting out of high school. You went to the NFL or you went to college and I did other things. He said, maybe we can get together and put something together and really affect some kids and teaching them both of our stories and how we made different decisions. And basically the both sides of the 50 is, we played against each other in high school. And my mindset in high school basically was play well on Friday night, make sure I get a scholarship, make sure my grades are always good, and make sure that I put myself in position to go on to play ball in college, which will hopefully put me on a path not to just do well in sports, but to do well in life. So that was my entire mentality. And so I made
mine not so much.
Exactly, and my choices, my decisions were based on that. I had a game plan for succeeding in life. I had a game plan for succeeding in sports, and I followed that game plan to a T every single step of the way when it came to setting goals, preparations, classroom, scouts, games. I had a game plan, and I followed that game plan. And Cornell, it was just different on his side, and I'll let him tell his.
And the cool thing about this, and this is why I had to give him a call, because when he spoke at the banquet, and I can see the kids' eyes light up, because I was able to present to them something that I'm trying to help them get to, which was big to me. He is where they want to be, but to say it without the actual thing or person there, it's just saying it. But when you can bring it together. So on my end, when I went to high school, when I played ball, I didn't have all those firm goals in front of me. I didn't follow firm goals. As a matter of fact, I grew up by 13, 14. I was running in gangs and I was selling drugs. So I recognize that our youth today are making those decisions at that early age, which is why when you were speaking earlier to Shantae as well, and you were talking about the ages that we start at that age because that's when peer pressure mainly hits these kids. It hits them at that age and they're making decisions. They're feeling like they're an adult, but they're not quite yet. So those things are happening and they're choosing. Where we come together and where both sides of the 50 works well is because a guy gave me this analogy a while back. The best way to see a clean glass is to sit it next to a dirty one. And I don't mind being that dirty glass if we can positively impact our youth. And I think more people should do this. I think more people should collaborate and do things and speak about the dirt in the past that they've had so that our kids don't have that same dirt in their path. They can avoid certain things. So our dynamic works well because when we're with a group of children, they can't get out of this. I remember growing up and in, like, say, high school assemblies, there'll be a speaker. He'll come in and he's done all these great things. I can't relate to that, and I don't think he can relate to me because I have all these things that I have to deal with and contend with in my life. And then there's this guy, he's done all these bad things. And in my mindset at that age, well, that's just you. You got caught. That won't be me. But the two stories together, it's like you caught in the middle, and you have to pick
a side, basically.
Yeah, you have to. You have to pick a side. You have to submit to what's around you at that time, and that's why we sat down and thought this would be a great thing, and obviously other people think so too because everybody's really loving this program right now.
Well, good. It's a very worthwhile thing for the community because it helps mold a child that may go the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
It tries to bring them back, and I think the decision is probably still up to him, but at least the person is exposed, and I say him, it could be him or her. The person is exposed to what's available or what things are out there, and as Shantae said, there are a lot of things that are different if you're in the whole scheme of things as opposed to being in the little small group you're in and whatever. How many kids do you anticipate getting into the program at one time? Because it's a long-term commitment.
It is a long-term commitment, and we're thinking to keep it small at this moment, taking like 4 to 5 children a year, because we can focus on them and their needs and actually be able to provide what they need and not just have them going through a program and then next year they don't remember what they went through. We really want to impact them and impact their lives. However, in a bigger scheme, I do run a youth organization. So it's kind of like an offshoot to this because I'm doing it every day and I have parents and problems and situations that we're dealing with on a smaller scale than the 4 and 5 that we're picking up, a year. So the number, who knows how big this can be. I mean, Isaac's a ex-NFL player, and who knows how many more players we can get in after this thing really starts rolling, and how many more people we can have to help us so that we can take on more and more kids and we can mentor. Because what we want to do is we want to be able to mentor a certain group of kids and let them feel us, not just be in an auditorium, speak to kids for an hour or two, and then we go on about our way. We want to be a part of that. And if we make it bigger than ourselves, we can't. But if we bring other people in and share in this, then yeah, we can pick up more kids, and it'll be a great thing if we can do that.
And the big part about the kids and the significance of the kids and making decisions is that the kids they don't have to be the ones that are making poor decisions now or the ones that are making great decisions. They can also be the ones that made poor decisions in the past, because a lot of times the kids that make poor decisions in the past or are continually making poor decisions, whether that's whatever that may be, that kid falls into the mindset of there's nothing better. This is the only thing that I can do. This is the only thing that I know. So that's what I'm going to do, which is doing things, I'm getting in trouble with the law, I'm dropping out of school. Well, when we get that particular kid, Cornell can really talk to this kid and let those kinds of kids know, listen, there's nothing that you went through that I didn't go through. Nothing that you went through that I didn't go through, but I came out on the other end of it with a lot of luck that was involved, which plays a part of it. But we want to get to them where there is no luck. We want to guide them, we want to mold them. But the kid who haven't made poor decisions, but are going to be making decisions along the way, well then, we can come into that particular kid and let them know, listen, along the way, along this path, we're going to be with you every single step of the way to make sure you don't go to the other side of the 50. We stay on the right side.
Sounds great. Well, as we begin to wrap up here, can you give me a website or something if somebody wants some additional information?
Yes, www.bothsidesofthe50.com. That's the number 50.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching our show this evening. If you have any questions, please feel free to call on Cornell, and I'm sure he'll fill you in, or Isaac will fill you in the information you need. If you have any questions for me, please go to www.cityofblackjack.com. There's a link out there, or you can call me at area code 314-355-0400. Thank you for watching. Good evening.